Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Witcher 3. So last time we left off, we are here in Vizima. This is the court of the Emperor of Nilfgaard. We have a kind of an audience with him to see what he wants with us. But for now, we need to get dressed. Let's go ahead and pick one of these outfits. Actually, because of our area looting thing, where if we just loot one item, it actually loots everything in a surrounding area, we can just grab all of these. So, yeah, the Chamberlain doesn't mind, and I can just sell off some of the extras later for crowns if I really wanted to. So these are, actually, they're not worth that much, but something. Okay, so let's see which one of these I should put on. I think all the pants look the same and all the shoes look the same. So basically it's just the shirt, or the doublet. This one, that one, and this one. Well, this one's kind of got like a leopard print on it. It's kind of cool. Let's just roll with this one, and we will talk to our buddy here, Amir's Chamberlain.
Black suits the gentleman. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
I am no gentleman. I am a witcher. Yeah, I guess so.
A studded doublet and a sword on my back. That's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
Well, it's not actually the ruler of the North just yet. We still got Radovid to contend with. So let's confirm.
Confirm away.
Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
Fine. This... You know what? This is freaking absurd, man.
Gotta be kidding.
Not at all. I am mortally serious. Does the gentleman know the penalty for breaches of etiquette in the Emperor's presence? 200 lashes. I do not wish that upon him, so I will not let him leave until I am confident that he knows how to behave.
Damn, 200 lashes, and I thought 15 was a harsh punishment for the dude in the last episode. Okay, fine. Left leg back, hands of this. That's not the one.
Please, it is neither the time nor the place for such antics. The gentleman will watch carefully. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest.
The gentleman will rehearse. Yeah. Okay, so it's not that one. I know. It's this one. Left and right hand on chest.
Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me.
Good. The less you expect of me, the more you'll be surprised when I actually pull my own weight.
The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency?
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect.
Okay, just give me a second here. I gotta check out what's down here. There we go, down the winding staircase. Aha! Definitely something to loot here. And we got 2 copies of She Who Knows. I'll keep all my book reading. Like, if it's just a book that's out of context, as in it's not a smuggler's note or anything that's relating to a quest, I will leave those to the end of an episode to read so that, you know, those who are not interested in these books, they can just... excuse me. They can just kind of skip it over and start watching the next episode. But for those who are interested, watch to the end. I will be reading some of these books that we collect.
Im grimi eb art ketzer. Duifen aden in karn eb marvoet. Emir var emreis.
Bow!
There you go, Chamberlain. You happy?
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep the orde.
Velen namen, wat kan favort?
Gotta say, I'm really impressed by this voice actor here. It does a really good Nilfgaardian accent.
I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint the Chamberlain. We're friends.
Yeah. It's all about the Chamberlain.
Take it you didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The wild hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
That is actually a brilliant portrait of Ciri. Oh, by the way, Amir's voice actor, if you didn't already know, is Charles Dance. You can always count on the dude to do a pretty good job when it comes to playing a man of power. Ciri. So there's a little bit of a background story with Ciri. Like she is like really gifted, and I don't mean like talented. I mean she is literally gifted with this special kind of blood. And because she's like a descendant of this magical elf person called Lara Doran, she had this weird mystical kind of blood in her called the Outer Blood that allowed the person who had this kind of blood to kind of just like travel between dimensions and hop between hop within their own space-time, or just like go into other different space-times. It's really, really weird. And because Ciri, who is Amir's daughter, is a direct descendant of Lara Doran, she inherited this blood, and she's always just jumping back and forth between dimensions, right? And the last we've seen her, she kind of was, I think, escaping from the wild hunt, and she just escaped somewhere, and we haven't heard of her for a very, very long time. So now in this game, she's coming back, and she is she has a central role to play in the plot. So let's see what's gonna happen.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I'd drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
Okay, but why'd you pick me out of all the Witchers out there?
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30?
Or his men?
So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
He's actually right. I believe the price we agreed upon for this contract was 2,000 crowns, which is like an amount of money I can't even imagine right now. Of course, by the time we actually complete this contract, which is like the main plot of the game, most of the game will be over. So by then, maybe 2,000 crowns won't feel like a lot, but I'm fairly certain it still will be a lot, even at that point in the game. So I know some people might not like enjoy my Witcher lore ramblings, but just real quick, Amir says that Ciri trusts Geralt, and if you want to understand why, you need to read the 2 short stories called A Question of Price and The Blade of Destiny. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so only doing this for Ciri, man. I don't really have much respect for the Emperor.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have razed. I'll do it for Ciri, not for your gold.
Your motives do not interest me. Only results. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
Follow me, if the gentleman pleases. Please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman
Disgusts.
need not bother.
Oh, Garrett. Brilliant. Okay. Just gotta say, I love the Nilfgaardian heavy armor. Oh, it just looks so, it looks so grand. It's got like those wings on the helmet, like they're completely pointless. They're purely aesthetic, but they just look cool.
And it's past noon.
Calm yourself.
Alright, who are you?
I'm Herivard the Second.
Nilfgaardian noblewoman, okay.
Not only am I made to wait here like some supplicant.
We zien es voor een
For company?
Ja,
A Tintin.
nee. Raadsliden enekt es tun es is saur an neen
I
fire.
demand.
Es is ziet efsat. Ep finzer nein machtek. Nein kofurtel an empfava.
Es frag, kiaside.
Duft. Wie ze voor atra es paesep.
Ambassador Var Atra. Okay, so let's talk to Mavran real quick. See what he has to say.
In kalandne se verloy sau. Ep Toussaint?
Mind if I interrupt?
Why not join in instead?
What are we talking about?
Discussing neutrality. How difficult it is to preserve.
Oh yeah, the price of neutrality is pretty high. And Garrett would certainly know something about it.
Know a thing or two about that.
Care to explain?
Never changes. I try to stay out of things, stand aside. Then comes an urgent summons, and an offer I can't refuse. Enough about that. Mind if we change the subject?
Okay, just real quick, throughout the entire game, I will be trying to preserve the personality and the actions of what Geralt would actually do in certain situations. So as a Witcher, he does value neutrality. He doesn't like to, take sides in different debates and arguments or like battles. But the way The Witcher 3 works, though, it very much tries to push you towards a certain side, whether it's out of morality or out of rhetoric or whatever, right? It's just something in the game that's always pushing you towards one side instead of the other, and there is rarely ever that middle ground. So to preserve neutrality is not always easy, but I will be trying my best to pick the best options to have Geralt stay neutral for the most part. But if it's at the cost of kind of losing content, as in if a neutral option would have us miss an important scene or miss out on an important fight, I won't go for it. But if it wouldn't matter either way, I will try to be as neutral as possible when making decisions. So that's just how it's going to be.
So, talk to the Emperor.
Why did he summon you?
So not even you know.
No. But I wager it's an ordinary witcher's contract.
Some werebubs.
Gonna fight some werebubs.
See ya.
Soon, mind you.
Bye-bye, Mr. Voorhis. Alright, so everyone here is speaking Nilfgaardian. Yeah, I'm not very fluent in it, so don't really know what they're saying unless I read those subtitles. Okay, here we go. We are
Once the
here.
gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
That quill sharpened yet? Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants' guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
Directly out of Nordling.
Hey, that's what the other scribe was saying.
Inconceivable.
You call yourself an imperial scribe. Couldn't even keep up with the ambassador. Shame on you. Okay, so I'm gonna loot some of these bookshelves, bookcases, and as I said earlier, I'll be reading these at the end of the episode. But I will be looting all of them. if not for the story themselves, but then definitely just for their sell value. They do sell for a little bit of money, like not a lot, but enough to be worth looting. And by the way, guys, remember these these candles and these lights where every time you walk up to them, you would kind of just like try to put them out? Yeah, the mod fixed it. So I'm pressing my action by my confirm button here. Nothing's happening. But if I really wanted to interact with this, all I need to do is go into my menu here and select ARD and then interact. Boom. ARD actually extinguishes the flame, and if I want to light it again, I use Igni. Yeah, so if I'm not interested in doing anything, I'll just select Axie. This menu, selecting a sign here doesn't actually do anything, so like these 5 slots are kind of wasted because again, like I have shortcuts on my controller to activate signs. So they don't do anything except for selecting Art and Igni for whenever I want to extinguish or light candles. I don't know when I'm going to need to do that, but it's there as an option.
Geralt, that tunic, you look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
Mm-hmm. And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
Looking good. All grown up.
How about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't. Not a bit.
I missed those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
So we already knew that the Wild Hunt could sense whenever the Elder Blood power activates. So whenever Ciri kind of uses her powers, the Wild Hunt can just like through some kind of magical power sense that she's used her power, and then they can just go track her down. But apparently the Wild Hunt can also sense power that is used to track someone who uses the power of an Elder Blood, if that makes any sense at all. So Yennefer is saying like she was using, what was it, haruspicy, geomancy, and hydromancy, I don't know. Like she was using all these kind of different magics to try to track Ciri. Apparently the Wild Hunt can sense that too, and that's why they came after us on our way to Vizima here. So that's interesting.
The Wild Hunt. What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
Yep, okay.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In 2 places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconformed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance.
Uh-oh.
Triss Merigold.
Yep.
Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
Yeah, Triss Merigold. We'll walk down that road once we get there. It's gonna be interesting.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
That's exactly what I was talking about at the end of the last episode, by the way. That right there.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
Alright then. So she's gonna teleport away. In a rather fantastic fashion. Just like that. And I can't walk through that portal, unfortunately, even if I tried. So, just leave her be, and she's off to Skellige. Okay. Gonna check out these bookshelves. I already have that, but again, I'm gonna be reading it. Well, not reading it, looting it, because they do sell for a little bit of money. So all of these as well. Okay, so this letter to Yennefer and this intelligence report about Ciri, these two I will read right now because those are relevant to our story at this very moment. So let's have that thing pop up on the screen there, and I'll go ahead and read. What? It didn't pop up. All right, so I'll just. Ah, damn it! Can I access it from here? No, I wanted to read it. Ugh. Whatever. Another one of these things. If I do this, then it'll bring up everything, which is unfortunate. Like I don't wanna like go through these right now because otherwise I wouldn't be able to keep track of what I've read and what I haven't read. For now, like because I've already opened this one, let's just go ahead and read it. It's gonna be real quick. Okay, so Brother Adalbert's bestiary. Yeah, Adalbert's. Each beast herein described in two manners ye may hunt. Either seek ye tracks, follow and strike the foulness wherever in its wild ye find it, or lure it to a certain place and a chosen place and engage it there in adventurous battle. The latter poses less risk, for the hunter exposes no chance for an unexpected fight. Note, however, that to lure a beast into a trap, first its tastes and behaviors ye must know. For as forktails bait them thusly, pound a stake in the soil, bind a goat to it, then hide ye in a near to shrubbery post haste. The beast, lured by the caprine odor, will without fail soon come. If it is a griffin ye seek to slay, take ye buckthorn from deep water. The mighty stench of this herb is to griffins like fresh roasted meat of the primest sort, and so come they will forthwith, though far away they might be. Turning to drowners and water hags, it is known to all and sundry that fish and rotting mollusks are their loves, and as for trolls, common hooch is their weakness. Okay. The griffin thing, obviously, we've already employed, and the forktail thing with the goat or the sheep as a bait, that we will do in the future. So that's one of those FBI sketches of Ciri. FBI.
Scars healed nicely.
I mean, like, Emir's spy representation sketch of Ciri. Looking good. Okay, what do we have in here? Another one of those. Alright, pick it up. Sell it for some cash later. And in here we have the Last Wish and another copy of the Horse Whistler. And is there one more thing I can loot? Yes. Right here. Butcher's Longsword and a diagram for Meltith. Not really sure what that is, but I'm confident in believing that it's nothing important. Let's just take a look anyway. Oh, here's a crafting diagram for Loon because we looted that artifact. It's pretty good. Very weak in terms of attack power, but it gives you increased attack speed and a bunch of axe intensity. And plus the damage is 666. Yeah. There it is, Meltith. Nothing special. Look at this. It's actually quite garbage. All it does is plus 2% attack speed. Yeah, not worth crafting at all. Like, because this isn't an Elder Scrolls game, there is no advancements in skills for crafting. There's only, like, crafting equipment, that is. Geralt is not exactly a blacksmith of any sort. There is advancement to skills for brewing potions and bombs, etc. Okay, so nothing here, nothing there. Alright, talk to the scribe again.
Be so kind and do not disturb.
Fine, in that case I'll talk to the ambassador.
Ambassador Varatra? Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
Okay, let's do this. Here you have a map of the world. Not really. That's actually just a map of the northern section of the continent we're on. So the entire continent, with Nilfgaard at the far southern edge, is maybe, I would say, about 5 times, maybe 4 times bigger than what we see here. Yeah. And the entire Witcher game, by the way, is going to, like this game at least, is going to be focused in a tiny little section at the bottom left-hand corner of the red shaded area. Yep, that's this entire huge open world game. So the continent is pretty big. How's the war going?
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony.
The scribe is right there.
The offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwin, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only 1 powerful one.
Yeah, well, Radovid the Stern isn't called a tactical genius for nothing. The dude is smart. Do I hear admiration for the Redanians in this Nilfgaardian ambassador's voice?
That admiration I hear in your voice?
Radovid is our foe, but I cannot deny he is clever. He played us for fools, particularly dense ones at that. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching? not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
That's right. The march of Emir's salvation plan will continue, whatever the cost. Actually, I was wrong about just like this entire game occupying a tiny section of that red portion. Actually, we also get to visit the Skellige Isles, which is way to the west there. And also in the DLC, we get to visit Toussaint, which is way to the south. I think even beyond the scopes of what this map is showing. Yeah, I'm fairly certain of it, because the river in the middle there, I think that's the Yaruga, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to read because those are not characters I'm familiar with. So, tell me about Velen.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever. Perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. Philip Strenger is the main character in this game. So tell me about Novigrad.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenford, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
Right, yeah. By deviants, he means non-humans. And of course, the humans in Novigrad, particularly those who believe in the faith, the Church of the Eternal Fire, which is like the major religion in the city, they really do not like the non-humans. Those being the elves, the dwarves, the halflings, and whatever else. So they would do whatever they can to try to pin any fault on whatever strife is going on in the world on those non-humans. Really quite cruel, and this game really does accentuate the concept of just kind of discrimination, and it's a pretty big theme once we get to Novigrad. So let's talk about Skellige.
What's new in Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Okay, that's it then. Thanks for your help.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
The great sun is sat upon a dark surface, so clearly it's not lighting anything. I'll show you what I mean. The Nilfgaardian sigil, or their crest. Right up there, mounted on the wall. Actually, it's all around us, including those banners. It's a yellow sun on a black flag. Yeah. So to say that the sun will light your path, I don't know if that's entirely accurate. Okay, one more bookshelf here. The Wonders of Zerrikania. Once again, we've already read that one. And let's get out of here.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
Bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
Garrett is really kind of condescending, huh? Alright. And I love how when Geralt received his stuff, he just put it into his pocket. So everything he owns, right into his pocket. So we were using this crossbow. Let's equip some... whoa, precision bolts are actually weaker than bodkin bolts, but they have more armor piercing value. Very interesting. And split bolts are just kind of garbage, but I think these actually split off into 2 separate bolts when you fire them, which is kind of a good and bad thing. Like against very large targets, both bolts will hit the same target and you'll do double damage, so you do like 240 maximum, which is just slightly stronger than bodkins. But if you're fighting smaller enemies, they kind of just like split off and neither of the bolts will hit the target, so not the best. Yeah, I'm just gonna equip my good old bodkin bolts, and my armors are here, so let's go ahead and put these on. And these ones, these Nilfgaardian attire, I will sell off a bit later. And here are all of our books. Okay, let's go ahead and read these 2 that are relevant to us right now. So, letter to Yennefer. Yennefer, my dear friend, thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via megaphone. I am still trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening, don't you agree? I am delighted you have found a position at our gracious Emperor's court and wish you the best of luck in the search for his daughter. It is good to know that Emir's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances, an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magic signature in my sleep. I have not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovir, but I am afraid that in the current political climate, that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of some unfortunate yet urgent matters in Beauclair. With my fondest regards, Fringilla Vigo, P.S. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he? Yes! Geralt the Wolf, landing on... Wait. Cats that land on their feet. Okay, I don't... Yeah, that's not anything. Fringilla Vigo is a fellow sorceress to Yennefer. She is, I believe, she's works in the court of Toussaint. That's why she mentioned Beauclair, which is like the capital of Toussaint, which we will visit later in the DLC portion of the game. So this one, intelligence report about Ciri. Vale. Our man in Velen says time is short. Someone's on his trail. Soon he will have to wipe all his tracks and change covers, which would mean no contact from him for quite some time. His intel on our person of interest is highly worrisome. Despite our best efforts, we've no information about said person's stay in Novigrad. Contacting Triss Marigold must be priority number 1. The mood in the city is tense. We must tread carefully. The site of the catastrophe in Skellige cannot be examined any more closely. The locals do not let anyone near it. Clan Ancrate controls those lands. Your humble servant, Vatier. Vatier de Rideau. He is the chief intelligence officer, I believe, of Nilfgaard. So, yeah. Okay, so let's explore this courtyard a little bit. Royal Palace in Vizima. New quest and Nilfgaardian connection. Great. Love that outfit. Love that armor. I don't actually... Wait a minute. Yes, I actually do think this outfit is in the game for Geralt to wear. Way later on, though.
I saw you in Vizima.
We are in Vizima, good sir. But look at this. So cool. I don't think we get the helmet, but we get the suit of armor. Oh, I love it. I love the whole, like, checker thing going on with pants, too. Okay, so using our Witcher senses, we can find this little rock here, which we can push. And this opens up a secret passageway right over here. Ooh. Ominous. And we can loot something back here. We got Stalwart, Freya's Warriors' armor. Wow, that's a mouthful. And old letter. I'm gonna read this old letter right now. Sir Roderick de Vet, please forgive me for my tardy response. I am waiting for Golan Vivaldi to confirm sufficient funds were available to redeem the bill of exchange you provided. Not that I don't trust you, but the gods help those who help themselves, as the Kedweni saying goes. Getting straight to your question, Princess Ada's curse could indeed be caused to return. The Witcher from Rivia had only a rudimentary knowledge of magic arcana, and so was not able to fully remove the spell, and instead only temporarily disrupted its workings. For Ada to become a Striga once more, one would have to sprinkle... Wait. For Ada to become a Striga once more, okay, one would have to sprinkle her food with 3 drops of blood from her father, King Foltest, 3 drops of blood from a wolf, and 3 drops of bile from a freshly buried woman, one who died having finished 100 years, but not yet having started her 101st. Then one must cast the incepted triangle over the meal thus prepared. That should do the trick. Yet, please consider carefully whether you truly wish to carry out such an ignoble deed. Hoping to do business again with you in the future, Alessandra Deville. Okay, so a little bit of background about this letter. Okay, so first of all, freshly buried woman, one who died having finished 100 years but not yet having started her 101st. Which basically means that you have to murder her on midnight or on the 100th year after she was born. So she was born at like 2 a.m. You have to kill her at 2 a.m. exactly, like on the second. On her 100th year, on her 100th birthday. Because a second late, she would have started her 101st. A second early, she would not have finished 100 years. So, like, this is a very complicated ritual, obviously. So a bit of history. Princess Ada, from the very first Witcher short story simply called The Witcher, where Geralt takes on a contract for King Foltest. It's not the same way. Was it the same Foltest from Witcher 2? Pretty sure it's not. It's like his father or something. Or like an ancestor of some sort. Where you take on this contract with like, oh, my daughter, Princess Ada, is a Striga, which is like a monster. You have to help cleanse the curse, and Geralt does it. And the princess is cured. So this letter is really like ominous because someone is trying to make the princess into a Striga again. I wonder if they succeeded. Well, I mean, considering how like specific the ritual for making her become a Striga is, the 100 years thing, probably not. They probably failed on that one. They were a second like late or something with killing the woman. Alright, so there is a side quest here in the courtyard. This dude right here. And I want to save. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to save. Probably not going to load though, because this guy plays Gwent. And he has a very, very powerful deck for where we are in the game right now. We have literally played one Gwent game, and that's the tutorial game in White Orchard, because there was no one else to play Gwent with. He is the very first person we can come across that plays Gwent, and he has like this, you know, meta deck that I just can't hope to compete with right now. But with some luck and with some proper strategy, we can probably beat him, because he is an AI after all. We're going to set the bet to maximum, because that's just how we roll.
Mind a few rounds of cards.
Alright, so this is our Gwent deck. We received Zoltan Chevet as a reward for beating the tutorial guy, so let's just put him into the deck, and we will take out this ridiculous Redanian foot soldier that's only worth 2 points. Everything else should be okay, and his deck is 100 times stronger than mine, but hopefully luck is on my side. Come on, go second, yes! Okay. Opponent goes first, which is good. Do I have... I don't have Siege Tower in my hand, which kind of sucks. I do have Catapults and Ballista and Trebuchet. Okay, so which means I probably should keep these Experts. Let me mulligan away their Dragon Hunter and... Oh, that's bad. Damn it, give me a decoy! Oh! Probably gonna lose. My opening hand is no good. Yeah, he's starting with a Spy. Ah, this sucks. I'm gonna have to do everything I can to try to win this first round. Otherwise, there's no hope of winning. Just absolutely none. Asiravar Anverhild, I think her name was? What was it? Anahid, okay. Close enough. So I played my Trebuchet Expert, which means I'm going to play my Trebuchet now. Double those points. And look at this, a hero card already. Tiber Egerbracht. God, this is going to be so rough. I might have to play this guy a couple of times. Remede, yep. So look at that. Look at this guy. Ballista. You're not the only one who can double your points. Yes, okay, he has passed. Which means we win the first round, and because we are using the Northern Realms faction, we draw a card when we win a round. Boom. Okay, so now we're gonna have to bleed the opponent. So bleeding basically means you won the first round, you know the opponent cannot pass, because if they pass, you can just play your hand and you can just win. Which basically means the opponent is obligated to continue playing this round as long as you keep on playing. And it also means points no longer matter, because they can't pass anyway, so I can just put down my cheapest units here. Alright, so I'm going to use my medic here to revive this Spy, give me a bit of card advantage. Hopefully he doesn't have a decoy. Okay, I got a decoy, so even if he has a decoy now, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to play out my cards, obviously. Commander's Horn. Yeah, I'm going to play out absolutely everything. Well, not everything. I'll probably save the Death Mode in my hand. That's the guy with a 7 strength. Just so that I have something to play in round 3. I'm surprised I'm keeping up with points. He's not playing the strongest cards. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and decoy my medic here. Go for some card advantage. He's going to be playing some of that. Okay. And in online multiplayer Gwent, there is this concept called hero passing. Where if you think your opponent is trying to bleed you and there's no way they can catch up, then you will just at one point pass, even though you're kind of... The general rule is that you are obligated to play until the very end, but if you think you have enough points, then you can just pass and hope that your opponent can't beat you. That's something the AI doesn't employ, so I don't have to be worried about it. So let's play our Ballista Expert here. There he is. So he's going to play out his last card right now, which is the Fire Scorpion, which is pretty strong. But would you look at that, he no longer has any cards, I am free to pass, and he has nothing to play on the 3rd round. And I have this one guy. Boom. That is how you play Gwent. Okay, and I got 20 crowns out of it. And I think he gives me a full test leader card. I believe this is the one that doubles my siege units. Let me take a look. Change leaders. Double strength of all your siege units, yeah. It's good, but it's not better than the clear weather guy. The clear weather leader is probably the best leader in the entire game out of all factions. So Gwent is played using 4 factions. We got Northern Realms is what I'm playing now. Nilfgaardians is what I played against. There's the Scoia'tael. There is monsters, right? These 4 factions, and later on when we play the DLC, there'll be a 5th faction called Skellige. We'll get to that like way later. In the meantime, we're pretty much done here at Vizima. Let me just check out what this thing is. Ah, that's just a door. I don't even think I can go through this door. Oh, I can. Ooh. What do we have here? Not much. Oh my god, this guy creeped me out. I thought he was a statue. I thought he was just like a suit of armor in the corner. Look at that. Oh, that is creepy. Just one guy standing in the darkness. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Okay, so these doors are not accessible, which means we can get out of here.
I saw you in Vizima.
Yeah, these people need to get their head checked. I think we are in Vizima, kind sir. Okay, so interacting with this door, we can actually go to the world map now. So as you can see here, we got Velen, Novigrad, which is the bulk of this game's story. Vizima, which is just like this tiny little castle. White Orchard, which we already finished. We have Kaer Morhen way up here, which was in the very beginning, first little tutorial section of the game. Like those 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Skellige, which is off down here, and Tusong, which is a DLC thing. So for now, we need to go to Velen, to the Hangman's Tree. This is how big Velen is, guys. Boom! Look at all these notice boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 notice boards. Game is massive. And I love every single second of it. Let's go.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Okay, while under... Oh my god. Please, I gotta put my phone on silent. Sorry. Sorry. You cannot draw your sword or cast signs, but you can cast art. I think that's what it said. Monsters' nests can be destroyed using the following bombs: Dancing Star, Grape Shot, or Samum. Yeah. Good. It's a shame because I really love Dancing Star, and I don't like to waste them on monster nests, but if I craft them, I actually think the game prioritizes using them to destroy monster nests, which really annoys me, but there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, here we go, Velen, 5 days later. So you soon find out that this place is called the Hanged Man's Tree for a reason. Yep. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Okay, and with that, our adventure here in the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt officially begins. Alright, here we go. Hearts of Stone, this is the DLC. The tooltip over there says that I can only start at level 30, but because we're playing with the mod, levels don't exist, I can start it whenever I want. Okay, so Runewright, that is also part of the Hearts of Stone DLC, and the Blood and Wine DLC is where we go to Tusong, but we have to advance to a certain point in the story in order to begin it. Okay. Okay, and get off the horse here. Just appreciate this view for a quick second. Boom. Looking good. And there's actually something we can pick up here by the tree. This thing here. Just a book, an unfinished book, which I'll read soon. For now, we're not going to see much combat in this episode, so I might as well just like fight some dogs here. It'll feel weird to me if I don't like engage in some sort of combat in this episode, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I do know that these are pretty strong, so what should I do? I should drink a potion, right? Let's see. This is not really gonna help. Swallow. I don't really want to waste a swallow in this fight, but I know dogs can be quite tricky too. Let's just try it once without using a potion. Actually, do I have a tawny owl? Let's see. I do. There it is. I'm going to drink the tawny owl. Go back. Go back. Go back. There it is. Tawny owl. And we're going to fight some wolfies. Let's do this. That's a lot of them. Probably going to die, but I would die in style. Whoa. Really? It just dispersed? Okay. Then... boom.
Damn it.
Ow. Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Oh. I'm telling you, dogs are so strong. Oh my god. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I promise. No, I didn't mean it. I did mean it. Just kidding. Yeah. Okay. Ah, yes, Axie skill point. Beautiful. Alright. Alright, alright. I gotta eat some food here. Look at that. I'm bleeding. Did you see that animation? Like there was like blood squirting out of Garrett's chest. Oh my god, that was actually quite graphic. 4 more dogs. Let's see if I can. Oh my god, why are they so strong? Ah, drink some apple juice. Alright, please. Have mercy, just let me kill you. Maybe cast a Gwent. Oh my god, they always do that follow-up attack, which I don't appreciate. Cast an Igni maybe, and go in for a slash. Oh god, oh god. Oh, that exploding shield from the Gwent gets me every time. Every single time. I'm never gonna get used to it. There you go. Ah, damn it. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Right in the butt. Right in the face. Oh yeah. Oh my god. I knew these dogs were going to be trouble. I didn't know they were going to be this much trouble. Please. Come back. Come here. Not going to trick me again with that follow-up attack. Oh, that was so close. Sorry if my voice is really loud there, but oh, I saw that other dog coming at me and I was attacking. I couldn't back off in time, but luckily for me, so lucky, my attack actually hit both of these at the same time and they both died. Had my attack not hit both of them, or had the other one not died from that attack, I would have died, and that wouldn't have been pretty. But, whew, lucky. Quality gameplay here, guys. You're not going to see any better. Alright, so I'm going to pick up all of these animal fats. 2 animal fats will make me an oil. So, yeah, those are good. Oils are really only great against enemies with like a bit more health. Dogs don't exactly have a lot of health. They probably only take 4 or 5 hits to die, which is not a lot. With ghouls that take like 7, 8 hits plus they heal, yes, I do need to use oils. With larger enemies, definitely I'm going to be using oils. But with these dogs that are dying relatively quickly, I say relatively because they still take quite a bit sometimes, I probably don't need to use any oils. Alright, so we are approaching the end of the episode here. So as I said, I was going to read some books at the very end. If you're not interested, the episode is done. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. But if you're interested in some of the books here, we will go over them. And before we end things off. So let's read some of these books. The unfinished book that we just picked up. And I love how the game gives me tutorials on this now. I've already played it for like 10 hours, giving me tutorials. Alright, so, unfinished book. It is widely known that Historia Magistra Vita Est, or in the common tongue, history is life's teacher. Her students, however, have heretofore preferred to partake of her lectures from afar, namely amidst the quiet stacks of university libraries. They knew her teaching solely from the accounts of third parties, accounts inevitably colored by these individual prejudices or imperfect memories. I, by contrast, have decided the time has come to break with this convenient yet harmful practice and begin to draw knowledge from the source, writing history where it is made on the front lines of conflict. Many will say this way madness lies, and that my venture will indubitably end in my ultimate death. To them I say with pride, Audentis fortuna juvat. Or in the common, the writing ends abruptly. Damn it! I wanted to see what that. I think that's Latin. looks like Latin, and I have no knowledge of Latin whatsoever. I'm wondering, is this the book written by that scholar guy at the very beginning of the game in the tavern in White Orchard? You know, the guy who gives us a deck to play Gwent with, the first tutorial guy? We were talking about like how he would go into the battlefield to write about war, and then we were given the option to say something like, we can either say escape while you can, or write what war truly is about. And if we choose the option write what war truly is about, then this book appears here. This is unconfirmed. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I've never really done any research on this, but it would be very good attention to detail if this was actually written by that guy and he went into the battlefield, he died, and he dropped an unfinished book. That would have been cool. Okay, so this one, She Who Knows. Folks say they were 4 at first. The mother, She Who Knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here from a faraway land, and since she suffered terribly from the loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. A long, long time ago, the mother was sole ruler of all Velen. Her daughters brought her the people's request and served as her voice. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were made to the Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, the Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Her madness eventually spread over the land. Men took to abandoning their homes and setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. Before long, Velen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction and took it upon themselves to save it. When spring came once more, and with it the night of sacrifices, they killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Her blood watered the oak atop Ard Serban, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. As for the lady's immortal soul, it refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. To this day it lies trapped beneath the whispering hillock, where it thrashes about in powerless rage. Remember this book, guys. It's going to be part of the main quest later. Royal lineages of the North. Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Sintra, Princess of Brugge and Duchess of Sodden, heiress to Innis Ard Skellig and Innis An Skellig, and suzerain of Atra and Abyara, daughter of Pavetta, see Pavetta Fiona Ellen, and urchin of Erlenwald, see Emir Var Emeries, granddaughter of the infamous Linus of Sintra, Queen Calanthe, see Calanthe Fiona Rhiannon. That's the entire family of Ciri. Shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sintra to Skellige, which took the lives of the urchin and Pavetta. Cyrilla's further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, Queen Calanthe sent Cyrilla to the court of King Ervil, see Ervil of Verden, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir of the throne of Verden, the Prince Kistrin, see Kistrin of Verden. Though allying with Verden and gaining the aid of the realm's army was at the time Calanthe's top priority, no marriage ever occurred, and Cyrilla returned to her grandmother's court in 1262. During the so-called Sintra massacre, Cyrilla went missing. Ellipses. Yep. Bit of history on that. The Chronicles of Redania, Vrydank the Elf. Or Vrydank? Let's go with Vrydank, sounds better. Despite what one might conclude from his moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed in King Vrydank's veins. They called him the Elf because of his exceptional beauty, and for the great admiration he felt for the Anshe. This fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Vrydank, splitting in the face of all laws and customs, chose as his wife a half-elf, and one of low status at that, known as Beatrix of Kovir. The fruit of this regrettable and short-lived misalliance was Folka, who later fomented bloody revolt against her own father, though this uprising was ultimately extinguished and Folka herself burned at the stake. The young state was thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come. Okay. The Horse Whistler. Breaking in a horse's psyche is a simple matter of instilling your will as the rider to your mount, acquiring its trust and training its obedience. Horses are intelligent, noble beasts, so they should be treated with tenderness and decisive and firm energy. Meyer, the unquestioned authority in this area, emphasizes that when training one's mount, a rider must I think there's a typo here. One's mount, a rider must be eternally on the lookout for errors in the training itself. Yeah, it's missing the word be. Every time the taming process ends in failure, the writer must look for the blocking error, first of all in his own actions, secondly in the horse's anatomy, and only in a last resort by concluding the horse has a naturally difficult temperament. Adhering to this principle protects one from undue punishments, which destroy the possibility of reaching an understanding between rider and mount, and make it impossible to gain the animal's trust. That is real horse wisdom there, guys, not just exclusive to The Witcher. That is like pure horse wisdom. Okay, so Toussaint, a duchy out of tales of fantasy and wonder. When a traveler from the northern realms first crosses the border into Toussaint, he feels at once as though he has stepped into a land ripped straight from the pages of a fantastic fairy tale. He will know no inclement weather there, for even the winters in Toussaint are mild and sunny, with only gentle calming breezes and not a hint of gale. He will know no hunger, for the trees and bushes of the land burst with ripe and juicy fruits all the year long. He will know no loneliness, for each and every soul he encounters will treat him like a long-lost friend. He will not find a single backwater of dullness, boredom, or inquietude in this overflowing stream of marvel. In Toussaint, the wine rages in torrents, music plays ceaselessly, and everywhere in the air is filled with the sound of birdsong and the twittering of beautiful maids, who are never stingy with their ample charms when a handsome knight comes a-calling. The capital of the duchy, Beauclair, is an architectural gem full of glorious elven monuments, delicately soaring towers, masterfully carved reliefs, and atmospherically mysterious ruins. Only the rare sun in the field of black, the odd gold and dark stain on an otherwise pristine edifice, remains one that this land, this fable incarnate, reminds one that this fable incarnate is a vassal of Nilfgaard. Yes, indeed, because Toussaint is kind of like right in the middle of the continent, and Nilfgaard has conquered like everything in the south, and moving into the north, they have already conquered and vassalized Toussaint. Okay, final book here, The Last Wish. This one's good. It's got some real lore behind it. Human life requires three things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound Palvis or even green Toussaint, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. That's right. This book is about Geralt and Yennefer. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets, with one important exception. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. It all began when Garrett and I were feeling a bit peckish and unburdened by heavy coin pouches. Decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so freed a powerful djinn. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I could get to 3, however, the djinn irritated, I see now in hindsight, at being issued commands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. And Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, The Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly the help of an expert in the magic arcana would be needed. It was our good fortune that Yennefer of Vengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her to ask that she heal his best friend, who happened also to be the brightest star in the North poetic firmament. Okay, now we obviously know who's writing this book, Dandelion. Yennefer, however, was more interested in the djinn, which she wanted to trap into magic servitude, than in its victim, and it would be said played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white, head over muddy boots, in love with her. What happened then? Well, I won't go into detail. Suffice to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the djinn, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, and taking all of Rind along with her, had Geralt not rushed to her rescue. For once, he did not need to draw either of his blades to send the djinn packing. He had but to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything, wealth, fame, power, but instead he asked the djinn to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Vengerberg. Alright, so that's the end of the story. Down here is Julian Alfred Pankratz, Viscount of Letenhov, born 1232, award-winning poet, playwright, and troubadour, frequent performer at the courts of Nidomir, Visimir, Venslav, and many other nobles and notables, alumnus of Oxenford Academy. So this Julian guy, that's Dandelion's real name. Dandelion is just kind of his stage name, or alias, if you will. And that's it. That's all the books we have. Very, very good. Okay, so after having read those, I'm going to put all of them into Roach's saddlebags, along with all this other junk. Hopefully she is still good on carrying capacity there. Getting pretty close, actually. Kind of worrisome. I'm going to have to do some inventory management later. But anyways, that's it for this episode, guys. Next time we come back, I'm going to reveal my plans on what I want to do here in Velen. Just a bit of a sneak peek though. Here are all of our main quests, here are all of our side quests, and the completed quests down here. So we're going to definitely be doing something interesting. The main quest is fine and dandy, but, you know, like, I think most of us have already seen this before. And we're gonna try something else. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this time. I will see you on the next episode.